A little bit of a different setting here today, but the Wisconsin Badgers, they dropped the worst game of their season, a 20-14 loss to the Indiana Hoosiers. This one was ugly from the start. The Badgers defensively, they give up a touchdown on the first drive and then a missed field goal on the second drive. Offensively, really can't get much going. The turnover on downs early, and then you only scored 7 points in the first half, 7 points in the second half as well. I think the big story, though, of this game is quarterback Braden Locke. I've been a guy complimentary of Braden Locke so far, and you have to understand the situation. You're playing without Braylon Allen, you're playing without Chimere Dike, and I was thinking there was questionable play calling at certain times, specifically the amount of times the Badgers called for swing passes. I thought that Indiana had sniffed them out throughout the game, and they were just to no effect throughout the majority of this game. And so there are certain factors in there, but Braden Locke had this game in his hands twice. You talk about the first time the Badgers are driving inside the red zone. After they scored the first touchdown drive in the fourth quarter, early in the fourth quarter, they're driving, and then Locke has it at the 18-yard line for Indiana. They get a delay of game, something that Locke cannot take there. Coaches could have called a timeout, but you also don't want to waste your timeouts early. A penalty you just can't take there, and then Locke takes an inexcusable sack, driving the Badgers out of field goal range there. You drive yourself out of field goal range there with an injured kicker, which I'm sure the team knew. You're forcing yourself to punt. And yeah, the Badgers got a stop on the ensuing drive, pinned Indiana, but they had to go all the way back to their 33. 2 plays later, Cade Giacomelli fumbles, and the Badgers have to give up a field goal. That was the lone points, the Badgers ended up getting a stop, but really they lose their offensive momentum. You drive then later on, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, the Badgers get another nice drive, 4th and 2 at the Indiana 32-yard line. Another miss. Braden Locke had Will Pauling right in the flat. He missed him again. You can point to the other factors, but unfortunately in this one, Braden Locke could not come through for the Badgers. Defensively, really good second half, pretty poor first half. The Badgers just got to find a way to play complementary football. And I think it also goes down to my third takeaway of the game, which was penalties. You can't have 8 penalties in a game like this. And when you look at it, a lot of penalties extended drives, and a lot of penalties were drive killers. The Badgers had 2 penalties on third down, a holding penalty on Jack Nelson, and a false start penalty. Those effectively killed the drives. And then the other penalty, the Badgers got bailed out by a penalty from Indiana, a roughing the passer that led to their touchdown drive in the second half. But you really can't have the amount of penalties that they are having. 3 different pass interference calls. 2 of them came on third down that extended Indiana drives. Badgers really got to clean things up here. But overall, this is easily the roughest loss of their season. Big Ten championship, those hopes are as good as gone at this point with the way that the Big Ten West is unfolding. Badgers got a lot of questions. I do think that, there are solutions to those questions, but at the moment, not a great day for Wisconsin.